morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you as usual. Today I've got a video. It's an update from Odd Man Audits about his recent arrest at the DMV, and it's quite interesting. He's going to provide all the evidence that he's guilty to us. So, of course, he says he's not guilty by the evidence he has, but the evidence proves just the opposite. Typical for a frauditor, they don't understand what they're reading. But anyway, we're going to get right into the video because it is funny and hilarious. Here we go.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to bring you a quick update video discussing the court case now from the arrest at the Centralia DMV. As you guys saw, the Illinois Secretary of State Police arrested me for simply recording inside the DMV lobby. I went to the first appearance July 18th at 8:30 a.m. Before court started, the state's attorney did speak with me and made clear that his stance has not changed, that what I was doing was not against the law. He also said that he's not trying to get me on the hook for something that he told Lieutenant Reitner to tell me was okay.
Here's a flashback of the state trooper talking to somebody, I don't know who it is, about whether he could trespass him or not. Let's listen to that.
I'm just wondering, is this something, can we trespass him from here? They want him trespassed. Is any of this...
No, I don't think you can. It's a public building. It's in a public area. There's not... I mean, you're allowed to go in and video. There's no expectation of privacy. But yeah, the First Amendment audit, yeah, yes, I think he's legal.
Okay.
If he's not otherwise disturbing the peace, breaking the law, I mean, just being there with the camera, that in itself is not a crime.
Okay.
So according to Odd Man Audits, the Secretary of State is the guy that was on the phone with the state trooper. The only way we know that is because the auditor wrote it on the screen. And, we know auditors pretty well enough to know that they tell the truth about 10% of the time, and the rest of it is just something to fit their narrative. So I don't know if it was actually the Secretary of State, but it sounded like he wasn't real familiar with the law. He said, I don't think so, stuff like that. But what you're going to see is a jump cut in his video where he got arrested that doesn't show anything that happened before the cops showed up and arrested him.
Business, refusing to serve anybody. So this being our third visit, we're going to get right back into it. We're just going to go sit down and record in the lobby and see if anybody was open to an education recently, or if they're still going to continue to violate everybody's rights.
And that is the jump cut that was in his video. I didn't put that there, he did. What you're going to notice is a lady walk up to him and hand him a notepad. Now, I didn't see him asking anybody for a notepad or a pencil, but that's what happens. So how did that lady know he wanted a notepad and a pencil or something? Because he didn't ask anybody. According to his video, it doesn't show it. And there she comes, handing him the notepad. So he must have asked for it. Something happened before he restarted this video.
Here you go, my dear. You have a pen?
And he went on further to say that he's been in contact with the Illinois Secretary of State Police. I believe the General Counsel is who he did say that he'd been talking to, and that they are still sending him things. And what that leads me to believe is that he's been in contact with them. They've sent him some things. There's still more to send him. But as of last Friday, whatever they had sent him had still not persuaded him that I was violating the law.
Well, if all that is true, that is good news for you. Apparently he must have dismissed the case, correct? With all the information that you weren't breaking the law, you did nothing wrong, he had to have dismissed the case. I mean, after all, it is up to the Secretary of State, right? Okay, let us know how you made out with that little ditty.
So with that being said, they scheduled the preliminary hearing, which would be the probable cause hearing, the fact finding, for August 21st at 9 a.m. After I left court on the 18th, I did contact a few attorneys.
Okay, I'm going to make some changes here because I cannot stand the way he drags out every word and it takes him forever to say something. So I'm going to speed up the video a little bit and maybe alter his voice so it sounds like he might have a personality.
Trying to schedule a consultation. I did have one office reach back out to me so far, and I do have a consultation scheduled with them this coming Tuesday, which would be July 29th. So as part of gathering my defense for myself, or for material that an attorney could use for me, I've been doing my own research, gathering case law, and making FOIA requests, things of that nature to help back my stance in this. I'll give you guys a couple tidbits.
Get ready for it, folks. He's about to put something up on the screen that is going to prove his guilt. Let's check this out.
If the person does have Illinois Secretary of State business to conduct, inform them that the transaction cannot be processed until they stop. Now also, call 911 immediately if there is a safety concern, including threats towards customers or staff, or if the individual is preventing the facility from conducting transactions. This is directly off of their official policy for recording inside the DMV facility. So, when you're speaking about legalities, wording is very important, and it has to be very specific. And on the first line that I've got highlighted...
Alright, as usual, instead of starting at the top of the page, the very first thing it says is, politely identify yourself as an Illinois Secretary of State employee. Notify the individual that video recording and photography is not permitted inside the facilities. Ask the person specifically, are you here to conduct a driver's license, identification card, or vehicle transaction? Which he's not. He's there to fill out a FOIA request. It's his third visit to this place. They know who this guy is. Anyway, if they do not, and the individual continues to record or take photos, reinstate that videotaping photography is prohibited, and they are not there to conduct official business. They must leave the facility. If the person does have business to conduct, inform them that the transaction cannot be processed unless they stop. So anyway, I don't know how much more evidence you need that you can't videotape in the DMV. It's right there at the top, which you didn't point out. You highlighted down below about where they're supposed to call for support or something. It's just stupid. I don't know why you put this on there. It doesn't look good for you.
Inform them that the transaction cannot be processed until they stop recording. So what that's saying is to inform me that my transaction cannot be processed until I stop recording. And then it further states on the second line that I have highlighted, or if the individual is preventing the facility from conducting transactions. And why that is very important is because this is a policy about recording inside the DMV, and it further states, it clarifies that me recording inside the DMV doesn't by default prevent the facility from conducting everybody else's transactions. What I gather from rewatching my videos and with some of the FOIA requests that I've sent to the Illinois Secretary of State Police, reading Officer Metter's official report, is that they were receiving guidance from the Illinois Secretary of State Police from specific sergeants and a captain to cease transactions. This is not official policy that they were following. This is following orders from ranking officers at the Illinois Secretary of State Police. But it's not official policy because, like I said, under their official policy of recording inside the DMV, by default, it lays out that recording inside the DMV doesn't actually prevent the facility from conducting transactions.
And that, my friends, is a red herring argument. That is not what you got arrested for. You did not get arrested for videotaping even. Well, yeah, you did, kind of, but what happened was they asked you to leave. You refused to leave. You actually refused to leave after you were trespassed or given a warning that you were going to be trespassed. And that's why they arrested you. Not for anything else, not for holding up transactions, because number one on that piece of paper you showed was that you cannot record in the DMV, period. I don't know where this guy thinks he's right in this, but anyway, whatever.
They hold you, they will. If not, probably book and release.
All right, would you mind saying that one more time?
Yeah, like I just said, if you're still refusing to leave, we're gonna go ahead and arrest you and take you to Marion County.
And I've been disrupting how?
Just recording.
Just sitting in here recording, not bothering anybody is
Preventing
disrupting.
the business from going on, yep.
And that constitutes trespass to state-supported land.
It does now.
What's been the difference between the other 3 encounters other than today?
Those factor into it. So, are you going to leave?
So you don't know if it'd be a book and release?
I don't know if they're gonna release or not immediately. I can't tell you. I don't work there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it through because we've already been told that by the state's attorney this is my constitutional
It
right.
doesn't sound like they're gonna be the ones prosecuting it.
Who would be?
It'd be somebody else through the Attorney General's office. So if you'd like to put your stuff back in your pockets, I'll place you in handcuffs and take you over to Marion County, okay?
Yep. All right. I'm gonna leave this.
That's fine. As long as
I'm
it's in
gonna
your
leave
pocket.
both of them on.
That's fine.
And the plot thickens. It's the Attorney General that's going to prosecute him, not the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State doesn't deal with local law enforcement. I don't know, maybe they do in Indiana. I guess maybe they do. Anyway, yeah, that's when he got arrested. He absolutely refused to leave the building. So he's making a point that he can do whatever he wants, wherever he wants to.
They willfully stopped conducting transactions and then blame me being in there as the cause for that, as the cause for them willfully doing it, and they're claiming that they have no choice to, but they clearly do. It's not part of their official policy to cease all transactions just because somebody records inside the DMV. That's what their whole argument hinges on for arresting me under trespass to state-supported land, is that they're claiming that me just recording, and if you play back the arrest video, investigator Cameron Ward, when I asked him how I was causing a disruption, he said just recording. And even besides his statement, there is absolutely no proof of any other conduct of mine that has hindered them from conducting transactions because there was no other conduct to even consider. I was inside, peaceful, quiet, non-disruptive, just recording. This quick facts card alone should dismantle their entire argument for my arrest.
And again, this is the card that he held up there, put on his screen. Politely identify yourself, notify the individual that video recording and photography is not permitted inside the ILSOS facilities. So that's all they need right there. Not this stuff you highlighted down here. It all goes with that, but you were in the wrong. I don't know why they didn't drop the case if you were in the right, because they wouldn't waste their time prosecuting you. They do that stuff all the time. They dismiss cases for lack of evidence or whatever. Well, that's not happening here, and it's not the Secretary of State prosecuting you. It's the Attorney General of the state. So, get your facts straight. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. The guy has still got to go to court August, I think he said the 25th. We'll see what happens when he goes to court. If he's so smart, then he should beat this case with no problem. I got a feeling they may drop it before that, but he has been there 3 times, and they're getting sick of him. That's why they probably just pushed it this time to the full effect of their policy, which is not law, by the way, but it's their policy and it's their rules, and that's how it goes. Anyway, that's all I got for you today, folks. Hope y'all have a great Friday. Love y'all. Bye.